complete your integrity list. Okay, please stop talking. At our last session, we distinguished 3 paths to restoring your integrity. 1, cleaning up broken promises and agreements. 2, completing undelivered communications. 3, acknowledging unacknowledged and hidden breakdowns and failures. How many of you saw it, remember that? Like, okay, good, great. So, while there was no assignment to take action on what you wrote, the recommendation was to be unreasonable regarding completing any of the items on your list. As you worked on your list, you were to stay open to breakthrough results that seemed to happen naturally, that would surprise and delight you. So first, let's deal with who did and didn't do the assignment. So if you did the assignment to add to your integrity list, please raise your hand to acknowledge that. Good, thank you, I got that. Awesome. And if you did not do the assignment to add to your integrity list, please raise your hand to acknowledge that. Good, thank you, I got that. Thank you. All right, so now I want to hear from some of you as to why you didn't do the assignment. So this is not about judging and evaluating and all that. No, we want to start to hear what stopped you. Yeah, Lemuria, why don't you come on up here? Somebody from over here, if you didn't do the assignment, what stopped you? Mary Ann, hey, please come up. It's all good.
I'm very, very comfortable with it. I didn't, I guess, complete the assignment because I felt like I had a list that was pretty intense for me, and I wanted to know what the next step was before I started piling more stuff onto.
I got that. Good, thank you. Awesome. Let's acknowledge.
Mine is pretty mundane. I lost the notebook. I didn't bring my landmark notebook last time I was
So
here.
you lost your notebook.
It was that blue thing,
Yep.
and then I couldn't remember what the 3 categories were.
Got it.
So I just, and what I could have done was reached out to my group and asked.
Could have, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't?
Yep.
Perfect, thank you. Great, thanks, Mary Ann. So, I want you to look at, for those of you that didn't, you can begin to hear there's some reason. Okay? There's always reasons. So, what you get present to with reasons is that you and I live in a world of reasons and justifications. Can you hear that? You and I, just look at some place where you're not in action. And then just look and say, oh, that's the reason. So like the assignment, we always have a reason why we didn't do the assignment. By the way, the people aren't here. I promise you, they have a great reason for not being here. Now, that's not bad or wrong, and they're not here. So, consider that whether you did or didn't do the assignment, like most human beings, you and I live in a world of reason and justification. Was that tight or? Okay. Consider that we would hear the same kind of. What is it?
That's something interfering with your microphone.
Okay. I'm sure there's a good reason why that's happening. Consider that we would hear the same kinds of things if we checked on any promise or agreement in the seminar. Check that out. Remember the promises you made? If there's some you're not keeping, I promise there's a reason. Check it out. Yeah? By the way, there's nothing wrong. It's just ordinary to live in a world of reasons and justifications. That is a world in the box. That's the world we live in. Every day, something doesn't happen and somebody gives you a reason, or you give somebody a reason. Just the world we live in. And it is inconsistent with living in a world of breakthroughs. Can you get it's inconsistent with living in a world of breakthroughs? So the world of reasons is a world of the familiar and a world of the predictable. So where we go automatically when we're dealing with breakdowns is to the familiar. And then you and I have all these reasons about why we didn't, why it's like that. The world of reasons and justifications is a world of no power, no possibility, no breakthroughs. And more, you will not have the power to deal with the breakdowns that life will present you. So you're going to go out there, and there's going to be breakdowns. And what's going to be right there are reasons why they're happening. Rather than, oh, what happened? Oh, what's my familiar way of dealing with what happened? So, how many of you have seen that the pull is to go to the familiar? That is what overtakes us in all the breakdowns. Raise your hand. Thank you. That's just the pull of what it is to be a human being. It's always tugging on us. Something's wrong, it's always tugging. It shouldn't be, it's always tugging. It should be another way. I'm not this, I'm not that, is always tugging. The kind of power is only available on a foundation of integrity and unreasonableness. Foundation we want to start building is one of integrity and being unreasonable. So to have this conversation make a difference, you have to resist justifying and explaining your reasonableness. You just are. That's how we are as human beings. You don't even think about it. I don't have to think about my reasons. They just come flying out. A breakthrough in integrity and being unreasonable become available when you acknowledge and own your reasonableness. Did that communicate? Let me say that again. By the way, you should see you're checked out. Can you kind of get this face? Yeah, this is not easy. It's not easy to begin to confront what is running our life. And you're here. I want to remind you, you're here dealing with this. And as long as you keep your eyes open, it's all good. Okay? So, a breakthrough in integrity and being unreasonable become available when you acknowledge and own your reasonableness. When I can acknowledge my reasonableness without defending myself, being reasonable becomes just a possible way to be. Being reasonable is a possible way to be. You're not stuck with that. Can you hear that? Being reasonable is a possible way to be. Given that, what do you think is the condition of the seminar? That you and I live in a world of reasons and justifications, and you check out your participation, where you're fulfilling on what you're here for, where you're fulfilling your promises. What do you think the condition is of the seminar? A world of what? Thank you. Yes, a world of being reasonable. How many of you have been late? Raise your hand. Just check out, you got a good reason for it, right? Told. How many of you haven't done all the assignments? Oh, you have a good reason for that? How many of you missed your group call? Got a good reason for that? How many of you don't like people in your group? Got a good reason for that? You get that? So we do, that's the world of it, okay? Listen, you guys, this is so cool. It's not bad, it's not wrong. We're distinguishing what's there, what's already there that you and I are dealing with in the box. You can't get outside the box until you can own what's in the box. So, let's look at how reasonableness is showing up in the seminar. Some people sharing all the time, and some don't. You know, that's just like how things are. In the condition of reasonableness, half-hearted participation with the assignments. In the world of reasonableness, a lack of commitment to enrollment. In the world of reason, people arriving late. By the way, I've really noticed at session, I don't know if you noticed yourself, but at session 3, session 3? Yeah, session 3, you were running to get to the door and be on time. I saw you. I'm glad you were here early, but I remarked to Chris, I said, look, people are running to be on time, that's incredible. Tonight, I was noticing, it was kind of like, right? You and I live in a world, and you want to start beginning to get yourself exposed and owning the world. It isn't you. It's a possible way to be. Oh, here's another world of reasonableness. People sharing randomly rather than stick to the conversation. You know, in your groups, there's like, share this, do that, do that. Notice how quickly we drift off of that. And we have good reasons. And again, I really want you to get, there's nothing wrong. It is the opportunity to begin to own what owns us. And reasonableness owns us. So, let's look at how reasonableness is showing up in the seminar, where you see other people. So I already went through attendance, the assignment, all of that, right? All of that. So the condition of reasonableness is actually factored into how this seminar works. So